Hey everyone, George here and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the tank behind me, as I mentioned briefly in my last video. But I also wanted to take a minute to tell you I really apologize for the filter giveaway problems that we had with the video. I think we've got those solved. There's not as much participation now because I think people are a little bit concerned about that. But if you go to the video before this and you sign up, you subscribe, you like, and you comment on that, that is still giving you an opportunity, regardless if you were in the first video and there was problems with it or not, you can still get into the drawing on that video, which I have now pushed off to November 17th to give people more participation. So I hope that that clears that up and there is no more future problems with this. YouTube knows about the problem. I did explain it to them, and hopefully everything is fine. So when we come back, we're going to talk about this tank behind me, and we're going to give you a little bit of an idea of what's going on. I'm not going to reveal anything yet, but we are going to tell you a little bit about what's going on with this tank. See you when we come back. I don't want to be redundant here, but as I said in my last video, there's a build going on here with this particular tank here that I don't want to quite reveal it yet, but I want to talk about it a little bit. I've always wanted to have a purely wild discus tank that was not only wild discus, but the actual environment, sort of a slice of the environment that you would find wild discus in. Now, we're not there yet. The fish are here and they are being quarantined, and we will reveal that here when we actually reveal the tank. But the fish are in quarantine, and I'm hoping that they will be out of quarantine in another couple of weeks here. Everything's going great. Everybody's eating fine. I'm not having any health issues with them. They've all been dewormed. I've had to use a little metronidazole because some of them came with a little bit of thinness, and I noticed that the stringy white poop that everybody talks about when there is a problem with worms that you would normally see. And if you see this in your own fish, if you see your fish being a little bit emaciated and they're eating but they're not getting any real meat on their bones, so to speak, or they're not getting that look of being healthy, then you've got a problem, and you might want to isolate that fish if that particular fish doesn't seem to be getting what it needs to eat and is not seeming to absorb the food into its body. Then you have a problem, and metronidazole is your answer. And we do have a video on that. I'll put a link down below to that particular video to show you what you can do if you're having problems. But getting back to the basics of what we're going to be doing here, I wanted you to know that that build is already in the process. This video is sort of a little bit ahead of that build, and I wanted to let you know that that build is going to be revealed here in the next maybe 2 or 3 videos. I should have something fully put together, and this tank behind me is going to be completely transformed into something that's very, very unique and kind of a cool, like I said, slice of the Amazon and a beautiful part of where wild discus come from. I'm trying to get everything as close to natural and nature as nature would provide, I should say, as I possibly can. In doing so, it takes a lot of work to find the materials. It takes a lot of work to find the right kind of wood, because these are mangroves that these fish hang out in, and I want to really try to make it look like it's just like I said, just a little slice of the Amazon River and where these fish would come from, and see if we can duplicate that and make it a kind of video that is so interesting. It's going to be an involved video. It's going to be a good 30 minutes or so of talking about these fish. It's going to be a opportunity for me to not only talk about the fish as we keep them here, but also how they might live in the wild, and how you can maybe take some time to figure out how to make your tanks a little bit more natural and a little more appealing to wild discus if that's what you're keeping. Now, hybrids, of course, have always been in tanks. They've never been in the wild before, so it doesn't really make a difference. But bringing wild discus into your home can sometimes be an interesting proposition to do. And as I said, if you can make it that environment of theirs as natural as you possibly can to what they're used to, then the fish, I think, will respond. Now, this is an experiment for me because I've never seen it done. I've seen people sort of try to do this, but I'm trying to do this in a way that absolutely duplicates their environment in the wild. And like I said, getting the materials is not an easy thing to do. So if I can achieve that, I'm hoping, we're getting close here, and I'm hoping that this can be torn down in a day or two, and we can start doing that build on it and make it look like what I think would be the native habitat of these fish. And it's going to be really interesting on how we come out with that. But again, I'm up for the challenge, and I hope that you'll watch that video when it comes out. Like I said, it's going to be quite long and it's going to be very involved, but I think it's going to have a lot of educational properties in it that you will find interesting, and also get a chance to see wild discus. If you haven't bought wild discus and are not raising wild discus, maybe give you an idea of how you might want to do your aquarium, and make sure that you're doing it in a way that is proper, because we're going to go very detailed on this thing, piece by piece by piece, on what we did, why we did it, what the materials are, and give you an opportunity to figure out where you can get those materials. I'm going to make a list of all the places that I ended up getting them, and finding a way to make this as realistic as we possibly can. So thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Again, I am so sorry about the last video and the problems we had with the giveaway. We're still going to get that done. Like I said, we're not going to let somebody try to hack into the system here and mess around with it, and leave people feeling like they're vulnerable to a scam or something like that. It's not a scam. I'm going to give that filter away. As I said, we're just going to push it out a little further because of the problems, and hopefully we'll get some more participation in this thing, and be able to do that giveaway on November 17th. Until then, thank you for joining me, and I will see you on the next one. Until then, we're out of here.